Usamos estampillas totalmente.
Close enough.
You are now tuned in to your number one radio station.
Violent people.
Radio.
Hello and welcome to the 52nd episode of Violent People Radio. I'm Pat. I'm here with Chris.
I'm Chris.
I'm here with Dan.
I'm Dan.
And I am here with Sam.
I don't care how much they win by. Fire Tom Thibodeau.
Yeah, so we were talking before we got started. You've been watching some interesting stuff on TikTok. A lot of stuff about the UV index and also moves the Cavs could make.
Oh yeah. I think Dan was actually talking to me about this before the show. He was big into it. Telling Darius Garland to fuck off and bringing in Jalen Suggs straight up. And I'm for the move. Move. And Dan,
I'd throw in 2 seconds to get Suggs.
Exactly.
If that moves the needle at all.
I've already started reading my NBA draft blogs, which some people are acting like the sky is falling because college kids are getting paid, and it's fucking with the late lottery and whatnot. Whatever. Talking about possible trades. We're firing up that trade machine. How do we get Julius Randle back? So we can. He can get stolen from in the East, There ain't a Caruso out there in the East. Don't gotta worry about anything.
I'm saying I don't remember who this was. It's probably Ben Simmons because it's fucking stupid. Evan Mobley for Giannis. Problem solved.
I think it was Bill Simmons, not Ben Simmons, the NBA basketball player.
You could throw him in too, but I don't know on either side.
The theoretical basketball player.
Yeah.
For this theoretical trade.
No, but he definitely did. I saw the TikTok.
You
Bill
could
Simmons
tell
cooks with
me.
some trades.
I'm fairly confident he's on the Clippers, but there's no team you could tell me Ben Simmons isn't currently on that I wouldn't believe you.
I want to say Clippers.
That's what my heart says.
He got bought out. I think he went to the Clippers.
It's like I got to get on a winning team.
LA Clippers. Well, this doesn't seem great. His last 10 were games played 7 minutes, averaged 14.3. Field goal percentage 27.3. 27.3.
That's good.
That doesn't seem good. That doesn't seem good at all.
Maybe he just needs to, get better at basketball.
Jumper's going to start hitting next season. He's been putting in the work.
Maybe it's a slow burn, like a Dragon Ball storyline where Goku has to eat shit for a while and then he goes off to Mars or whatever and I forget how it works in Dragon. I think he jerks off under super high gravity or something and becomes stronger.
Yeah.
People always say it's season number 8 where you really turn it on.
It's just like with TV shows.
Yeah, it doesn't get good till about almost a decade in.
Married with Children, Roseanne, all those shows, they didn't get good until season 8 when they started introducing the cousin who was never mentioned before up until that moment.
Well, when I think about great TV shows, I think about season 10 is when The Simpsons really gets going.
That's what people keep saying. That's what everyone keeps saying.
When they revealed that Principal Skinner was an identity thief, that was the true birth of the show. I think
Anyway.
if I remember correctly, on the DVD commentary for that season, that was like the only episode that Matt Groening isn't on because he just thought that that episode was too stupid.
Love that. Love that. Everyone been playing Monster Train 2 this week? Monster Train 2?
No.
Damn.
Stuck on
Everyone
one.
get the Monster Train 2 train. Kicks ass. I've put 14 hours in since it came out. It's good. It's real
So
good.
is it more about the monsters or is it more about the train?
50-50.
I could see this going either way.
50-50 train to monster ratio. Train, real big. Monsters, not as big. Way more monsters than trains, but it's a really important train.
So this is not really connected to anything, but do you guys remember that game Monster Rancher where you could put like music CDs into your PlayStation?
Hell yeah.
And it would
Hell yeah.
generate the monsters based on the data from the CD.
Yep.
I was always so
Good stuff.
disappointed that like every CD ever didn't, like the Nine Inch Nails CD didn't generate some like unique mega goth thing. And I'm like, as an adult, I'm like, how could they have possibly coded something that comprehensive? But I'm still kind of mad that they didn't.
No, they needed to put some extra work in there.
They should have done that for a wrestling game. Like imagine like SmackDown 2, where it's like you take that. Ugh, I can't talk tonight, which is good because I'm leading the show. SmackDown 2, you take the disc out, you put in like a Pearl Jam CD, and it generates basically Raven.
You put in the hot dog flavored water. I also can't talk. Chocolate starfish from the hot dog.
Yes, the
flavored
seminal
water.
Limp Bizkit opus, and that's how you unlock Fred Durst.
Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth?
You put on It Was a Good Day and you get O'Shea Jackson.
You put in a WCW game, and the console just crashes. Anyway,
So what are we doing
so
here?
we are about to talk about what wrestling we all watched this week. And I'm going to kick us off by saying that I was working a lot this week. I think I watched some wrestling, but I don't remember. And that's
True to
all I've
fair.
got.
Incredible.
I think I watched some of the most recent XPW show from a basement. That is to say, the XPW show took place in a basement. I was not watching it in a basement. I was watching it on the third floor.
Whose basement?
Some
Yours.
person in Pennsylvania. I mean, I am very much into this new look that XPW is pioneering. It's up there with the SmackDown Fist set in terms of just having a signature look for a show. And this is what if a wrestling show had no ring and took place in a basement where that is almost certainly used to kill people. Like it looks like Dexter's Kill Room because they just have white tarps up over all the walls. It is very much. I mean, wrestling already had a Saw death match, which was, I guess, what was that in like an abandoned building or something like that? I can't remember where they filmed that one. But this actually looks like a Saw death match. It looks like Saw bum fights, really. So that is what I watched some of this week. I'm not sure that my words can do justice just how skeezy and methed out XPW seems in a absolutely amazing way. It is what wrestling has been missing and frankly needs more of. And I will take that over Double or Nothing or even Dean any day of the week. DEAN2 I still have not gotten around to watching. I doubt that there was half as much meth as there was at this XPW show in a random basement. But I'm happy to be proven wrong. Speaking of Dean, am I the only one who didn't get around to watching it?
I did not watch all of it, but I watched most of it.
I watched all of it.
Watched all of it as well.
We had a lot of people watching in the Discord in our live wrestling channel. General consensus, not as good as DEAN1.
Absolute fools, though, because it was a taped show, and they're discussing it in the live channel.
It's fucking true. Why are people such idiots?
We need to corral these fucking freaks. Like, we need to introduce shock collars or something.
Dan, you were in there. How did you let this happen?
I'm an idiot.
Yeah, you can say that again.
Yeah, just because it's premiering on YouTube doesn't mean it's live.
You got that damn right.
It's not as good as last year, but like people were calling it show of the year, and I was like, no. And then I thought about it. I was like, yeah, maybe.
No.
Should we just hop into that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Opener. Was that Rhino and
Manders? I was totally wrong. It was fine. Manders sucks and not Rhino.
Oh man,
Rhino looked way better in this, and was booked to look better, and got the win. Hilarious.
Welcome to the winning team, Dan. You finally understand.
Yeah.
Well, they had to give the AEW wrestler some shine, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'm with you that Rhino looked better, but Rhino looks like Rhino. So that's just maybe coming to some conclusions that you actually like Rhino, and I'm just been a stick in the mud the whole time.
I don't want to see Rhino like soon again, but it turns out I also don't want to see Manders soon again.
I want to see Rhino in every match.
Unrelated, but makes a wrestler that reminds me of Rhino in the sense that I want to watch them live and in person. Gangrel's coming to town, so
okay. First
Right.
off, someone was talking about Rhino, and I said I'm a hypocrite because if Rhino was within 45 minutes, I'd probably go see Rhino. But I'm going to skip ahead to something I watched. I need to talk about right now. I got real fucking excited to watch Gangrel versus MVP from 2025, the year of our Lord, and I got fucked. They spend 6 minutes really hyping the crowd up. There's a lot of like boom boom clap stuff. You know what I mean? There's a lot of stalling, and then fucking who is it? Sean Maluda and Elliot Crow come out, and it becomes a tag team match with Gangrel and MVP.
They did the old Onita Tremont.
I was furious. I couldn't tell you anything about the tag team match. I was just like, I'm watching Gangrel versus MVP, but no, you're not. Sorry, we can get back to Dean, but that just really pissed me off. And I made sure I put that in my notes. Like, I'm going to mention that CCW, they give me the old bait and switch. Yeah.
So how have they not booked Gangrel in some capacity for a blood sport?
He'd beat them all.
Oh yeah, I mean, the blood would give him strength, I think. I'm not really sure how Gangrel's kayfabe powers work.
But yeah, match number 2, Arez and Gringo Loco versus Jaden Newman and Tank. Good match, even better than the first one.
Okay, cool.
You didn't like it?
Sorry, what match did you say? I thought you said Gangrel.
The second one? No, Arez and Gringo Loco versus Coven of the Goat.
Oh, those are the wrestlers I don't respect, so I did skip this match.
Oh, that's fine.
Which are the ones you don't respect?
Just Tank.
Honestly, I think Tank is the only one I do respect at this point. Don't give a shit about Arez. Don't give a shit about Gringo Loco. And Jaden Newman. Do I need to say more?
Okay, you're right on that one.
So
I think you've been brainwashed on Arez, Chris, but that's about to happen.
I mean, Arez is basically the through line of all the Lucha Roundups. He's the presence connecting them all.
Truly.
But I did want to back up for a second to Manders talk.
Okay.
We saw on the Discord that Manders will be facing Dan Moff for some promotion at some point. I think
it's Santana's promotion. I think.
Santana.
Oh, okay, Santana's.
Noted eventual superstar. Santana.
It's the Puerto Rico versus the World show. How much sicker would that match be if it was Rhino versus Moff?
It'd be a million times better. That's what I'm finding out.
Do you think that Dan Moff
Come
can take a gore without like immediately dying from all of his enlarged organs just exploding?
No, absolutely not. I'll
Okay,
answer
so
for Dan.
that's why it has to happen.
Dan Moff versus Rhino has happened, but it was 14 years ago.
And ICW
Yeah,
got
so
a
like
rematch.
before
No, in
before Moff got
JAPW.
all like now that Moff is just like a steroid elemental. That's why I want to see it. He's one of those guys where he said like, okay, I'm gonna get in shape, and that his idea of getting in shape is that he looks like how RFK Jr. wants to look. He did a match with I think it was Lucky 13 for XPW, and it was the kind of Brock Lesnar performance where 4 seconds in he's sweating off just buckets of water. I was just like, between that and the trap muscles as big as his head, I'm just like, all right, I can't deny it. Dan Moff is back. He's cooking. Anyway, I'm sorry. I cut into the discussion of Arez and Gringo Loco versus the Coven of the Goat.
We all had lots to say, it seems like.
Chris, do you have any thoughts?
I really don't have many thoughts on the undercard of this show.
That's fair.
This show, like, it is the matches early in the show, it's all just fine.
How deep do we have to get for you to stop saying it's the undercard?
Is Morto Slim J the undercard?
That's
Yes.
the question.
Oh, you thought that was
Oh!
just fine. That's crazy.
I thought that was a good match, but it wasn't
thought it was-
like a great match.
I thought it was the second best match on the show.
I thought it might be the best match on the show.
Ooh,
Might be the best match.
That,
I
that's a
wasn't sure
little
if I
too
was going
far
to go
for me.
that hard, but now
I
that
mean, I think-
Chris has made the stance that
I think
feel like
I
half-
think Slim J is excellent in it. I think Mortos does his job fine. I found nothing like earth-shattering about this match.
I think Slim J is incredible in this match, and Mortos puts in a more grounded performance than we usually get from him. Usually, he's fucking done a line in the bathroom before he goes out, and he's just powering through everything. This there feels like okay, we're gonna let Slim J do all the cool shit, and I'm gonna work on making the connective tissue work, and I think he does it incredibly well. Incredibly well.
Yeah, I agree with that. I was worried about this match. Like, I was excited for it, but I thought there's a chance that Mortos eats him up, and we don't get to see a lot of Slim J. And no, Slim J got the shine. I thought this was awesome.
We did skip
I've
Josh
never-
Woods versus JD. Drake.
Mortos never struck me as a guy who eats other people up. In fact, he strikes me as a guy who should eat people up more. He's kind of like a Laredo Kid in that you see like a multi-man match full of people who you know just don't like losing, and then Mortos is also in it, and it's just kind of like, all right, well, we know who volunteered to take the pin to make everyone happy.
Sure, but I think he always gets a shit in a very real way.
Well, yeah,
Like-
of course.
Even when he's getting eating the falls, he's always doing 2 or 3 things that like, oh, that's the coolest thing that's going to happen in this match. Not so much here. Not so much here.
But like you said about going back, if we skip Woods versus Drake, that's kind of in line with the first 3 matches where I thought all 3 were fine, which I think they got better. Like, each one got better than the last, but nothing really caught my eye on Woods versus Drake.
I would go as far as say I thought it was good. Josh Woods versus JD Drake. But also, I will not remember it next week. It will be a match that fully memory hold past that point. The tag match will be good when they eventually do that.
Yeah.
I'm just excited for Workhorseman to be back. So,
What do we
any
think
other
of
matches here?
Moriarty versus Matt McCown?
Oh, that's the second don't respect them match.
Now, I will say the best part of this match was the lights went out, and it looked really cool.
All right.
because it's all lit up by like the billboards and shit.
Yeah.
So like that, I mean, that's not a good sign for the match when like that's what really hooked me. I was like, oh, it's so cool. And lights came back on for a little bit, and I audibly went, oh, like I was bummed.
I love that.
So that's all I got about that one. And then you put this in the. Then we can go to the Cybernetico. This was fucking amazing, obviously. And you put this in the Discord, I think. Stealing what I was gonna say is how much more is Tony Khan paying than MLW?
I just put it in the founders chat because I didn't want to blow up the spot.
Okay. Yeah, like these
But-
guys fucking cared.
Yeah.
This was the best match on
He's-
the show for me.
Well,
But-
'cause
Easy
it
best
was a
match.
tribute to
Yeah.
Dean Rasmussen, who they all loved.
They all knew and loved and cared
Yeah, I
about what
mean,
they
you know,
had to say about it.
CMLL, they were very deep into the Death Valley Playboys back then.
Yeah, I think Averno actually used to post there.
I
I wonder who he voted for in the DVDR 500.
I think this match is a sham because the winner
Well,
is
every
Blue Panther
wrestling match
and,
is a sham.
and hologram. It's like, please respect the heritage. Someone's got to win. Figure it out.
Yeah, why couldn't Blue Panther just lose the hologram?
Big lead them. Big lead them. Said, nope. We're ending it here. Sorry. Anyway, I like this match. I don't think I like this match nearly as much as some people. I ain't on the stretch. This thing gets a little clunky. Especially when we're getting a lot more neon, and frankly, like a lot more.
My God, you have to stop with the neon hate.
He is the second worst wrestler in this match.
Well, I was going to say, you were saying on the Discord how you thought Volador really stepped his game up.
Well, Volador always sucks. So it's like he's obviously the worst person in this match, but also I expect that from him. I do expect that from Neon too, but everyone else doesn't. So what are you supposed to do?
I mean,
Dan, what does Neon do in this match that goes, wow, that's
Okay,
great. Love that.
first off, you're saying he's worse than all these really, really great wrestlers. Like, yeah, oh, Neon's not as good as Blue Panther or Venus.
All right. Well,
like
sure,
he's like,
sure.
who are the chumps he's in there with? Now, like, if he was in there with like Jaden Newman and you said Jaden Newman looked better, like then I'd be upset. But I'm like, yeah, I have no problem saying he's the second worst guy in his match. I might like him more than Euphoria, but I'm not gonna fight you over it.
Oh, that's bullshit. That's Euphoria might be one of the top 3 wrestlers in this match. Come on,
We're just saying
Euphoria.
shit. I won't.
What do you mean? Do you see that power bomb he hits in this one?
Yeah, I
Oh
think
man,
Euphoria is great in this match.
hell yeah. And Chris also said Neon was dog shit in this match. Missed.
I
maybe
did not
didn't hear
say
that.
It's like, did you really, Chris? What are you doing?
Yeah,
to me?
it's fucking dog shit.
No,
So,
Volador is like the only guy I was just like, all right, all like these guys are really, really trying. And Volador, I mean, he's not the featured person in the match very much, so it's fine. But he
cannot be
looks
bought.
like he's sleepwalking.
You know what? In some ways, that's respectable because clearly he cannot be bought with money to try if he ain't going to be the showcase. So there you go. Good for him. Good for him.
I mean, hasn't the issue with Volador this year just been that his body is like actively shutting down mid-match? Like even in the times where he does try, it's just kind of like he's got like the Tetsuya Naito problem where it's like, oh, he can't really like jump anymore. He can't walk upstairs. He's like Ed 209.
Anyway,
I just
match
say
is-
that out of
match is good.
sympathy because my knees really hurt today. So I got to stand up for fellow victims of leg pain.
That's fair. Very fair.
But
I don't know if
do
I
we
see
think
like
people would like do we think people would like Voldor more if he looked much sleazier? Like if he like his hair started really thinning out and he grew like a shitty little beard? Do you think people would just like be like, okay, now that Voldor looks like a piece of shit, we're
No,
totally
because I think in this
line?
match he looks like he could rob a train.
What if he did though?
If he did rob a train,
Yeah.
that would help. That would help.
What if he
Wouldn't hate
just robbed the audience?
That would be good.
Just did a cybernetico and they just mugged the audience.
It was a free show, so they either like have extra cash because of it, or all of them are poor. So there you go. Anyway, Neon, get the fuck out. This would have been a hoot to see live. Would have been a hoot to see live. Dan, you never actually told me, why is this match good?
Wait, sorry. It's good because there were good wrestlers doing good things. I don't think it's like match of the year. I just think best match of the night was none of them are going to blow me away. Like Slim J looked really good in his match, but I thought everyone looked good in this, except for Voldor Jr.
Oh,
I don't. But this what? It's 24 minutes, and it doesn't feel like that. It felt like fucking 15. Felt like a breeze. Everyone got the shine. I don't think it's going to change your world. It's not the 1997 Cybernetico, but
all right.
yeah, definitely watch
Fair
it.
enough.
It's like I don't want to defend it too much, but it's like it's definitely really really fun, and
I think you should defend it.
it probably should have went last, knowing what the dog collar match was.
I don't know if I agree with that, but let's.
All right.
I guess we can move on and talk about the dog collar match.
I mean, the end of the Cybernetico
think
has
that-
like Danielson coming out too, like that could end the show, I think, but whatever.
Do we think that
I was
the
gonna stay
Cybernetico
for-
would have been better with Gringo Loco and Mordos and whoever else they had in mind?
Definitely not.
Yeah. Well, who are we switching out?
Blue
Are we
Pen.
switching out? No. If we're switching out Neon and Valiente and Volador, sure.
The thing is that Blue Panther and Gringo Loco are pretty interchangeable.
I like it. I like
Two
that
sides,
take.
two
That's a
sides
good
of the
one.
same coin.
Oh,
No,
man.
what I wanted to say about the dog collar match is I was disappointed in it, but also I watched. Let me do a quick count here real fast. I watched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dog collar matches since our last episode, and this was definitely the best one. So maybe it was pretty
How'd
good.
you watch 7 dog collar matches?
TNA put up a video of every dog collar match they've ever had, which is 5, and then I watched this one, and then I watched Beef versus Stallion Rogers, which was dog shit.
Whoa!
It was so bad.
Is that from this year?
Can't
Yeah.
believe you're going after my guy Scallion Rogers like that.
Yeah,
it was
about
the
to
main
say
event of the
something,
last AAW show.
Then I realized I was thinking of Kurt Stallion, and I'm like,
Totally
Dude,
different
same
guy.
wrestler.
I got nothing.
Same guy.
They don't wrestle like the same guy.
It's the same guy.
Got him.
Don't know what to tell you.
It's 21 minutes. This is the opposite of the Cybernetico. It's 21 minutes, and it feels like it's 4.5 hours. I kept looking down and be like, oh, this is still on.
Elgin disciple made a long match feel longer.
And this is so stupid, but Beef wins. And then Jake something runs out to beat up Beef and align himself with Stallion Rogers, and they like stand tall, and that's so fucking stupid to me. It's like it's an anything goes match. You waited until he choked me with the chain and I gave up. And then you're like, now I'm coming out. I got you now.
Well, he respects the spirit of competition.
And then it turns out TNA's never really had a good dog collar match. The best one was probably Raven Abyss from No Surrender 2005.
That was the only
and
one I know happens.
They did, I'll read in reverse order. Masha Slamovich versus Killer Kelly. Not good.
Perfect.
Sue Young versus Rosemary. Not good. Raven versus Abyss. Pretty good. Raven versus Slash. Not really a match. Kind
Great.
of just like an angle. Kind of. It's not. It's like 3 minutes. Not even.
Aw.
And then the Gathering. Raven, Julio De Niro, CM Punk versus Shane Douglas and the New Church. This was really. It's like a victim of TNA production. It misses the pin and a lot of the action. Like you keep hearing cool stuff is happening off screen. And then Vampiro runs out at the end.
What? I have to know, in a match with 6 people, what were they filming that they missed all
Well,
6?
they would just keep every time they'd all pair off, right? And because they're chained together. And every time it seemed like a big spot was about to happen, they would go to a different pair that's just kind of like staring at each other or kicking each other in the corner. And then they literally do not get. Julio De Niro gets the win, and they don't. It's not on screen. You don't see it, but it does end with the new church hanging all 3 members of the gathering, and that's like a cool visual. I think I posted it on Discord, so that makes the match seem cooler than it is. But yeah, so I was like dog collar heavy this week, and I thought this DEAN2 one was the best one. It just didn't do much for me. Like, it was good. It's good wrestlers having a good match, but I don't know. It felt light.
I thought it was really good. I
definitely didn't think it was really good.
Oh, it was really good. But also, like, my expectations were. I felt this was the match I expected in a lot of ways. 2 really good wrestlers having a real good wrestling match, but Priest is not the guy to have like a visceral sort of brawl that you would hope for from some of the best Mad Dog matches, and that's fine. Just not maybe his skill set to pull that off. I think he does enough of the chicken shit stuff to make the match still work. Does spend 20 minutes under the apron gigging.
Oh, I'm a fucking liar. I watched 8 dog collar matches. Jimmy Ray
And this
versus
was-
Necro Butcher is way better than this.
All right.
Not even fucking close. You said chicken shit heel, and Jimmy Ray popped in my head. I was like, oh, wait.
All right. Well,
That's unfair. I'm being unfair to this match when I compare those two. Yeah.
a little unfair. And again, like this. Again, I'm not saying this is a match of the year contender at the end of the day.
I am.
And he didn't see it, so he knows exactly what he's talking about.
He knows better than some of the people that saw it.
Truly, they don't know fucking shit. Anyway, Chris, any thoughts here?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree that Priest isn't the guy who's gonna have that visceral match with Mad Dog, but I still really like what we got. I think they did have like another gear in them if they wanted to do a longer match. I think that was there. But I mean, yeah, it's a fun main event. It's not gonna be anything close to like match of the year for me or anything nearly close, but like it's a fun match with 2 guys I like.
Hell yeah. You guys watch anything else this week?
I want to say quickly about the show. Like, I feel like it's literally under 2 hours, and there's nothing bad on it. So that's why I'm like overall positive on the show. Like, you don't get that in wrestling. So cherish it. I watched some other stuff.
Annual
Okay.
award show this
For
year.
a second, I thought you said
Definitely
cherish.
did last year. You ready to call the show of the year?
I just don't know that there's a runaway contender. So like I don't know that's my show of the year, but I'm not mad at somebody that says it is.
We all committing
Yeah.
to that this next year?
I will do it at least as much as I did last year.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
I'm in.
All right. Chris, what are you gonna say?
I mean, I would, well, like, if someone said that was show of the year, it would be like, what? Like, how many shows are you watching? Because, like, the undercard, like I said, and I do like Slim J versus Mortos, but the entire,
it's
like,
dog shit.
second, like, 2/3 of this card is just, like, a pretty good Ring of Honor show with some Dean talent.
I honestly
what's
think
the
that
current show of the
anyone,
year?
I think the
mean,
people who
from
were going to say that sorry, Chris.
from the weekend, even Double or Nothing was a better show.
Oh no.
Hard disagree. I watched every single match of that. Hard disagree. Let's get into that. Double or Nothing,
Well,
2025.
I just wanted
go
to
ahead.
say before we get into Double or I think that the people who are proclaiming DEAN2 to be show of the year are the people who decided that DEAN2 was going to be the show of the year before they saw it.
No, I decided DEAN3 was the show of the year once I saw the card for DEAN2. So I'm a step ahead of the game.
I mean,
Once
that
we
main event
announced
on
the
DEAN
card
3,
for DEAN3,
What match is Necro wrestling on DEAN3, Dan?
that
Now
one
to
I'm
hear
keeping
first.
Secret. I'm keeping a little secret, but I will say it'll be a better dog collar match than this one.
Yeah.
Okay,
Continue.
Double or Nothing. I will say this right here. If you stopped watching the show, and this is crazy to me, but if you stopped watching us after Okada Bailey, maybe a better show than Dean. But it starts out pretty good. Mercedes Hayter, really good. FTR, Daniel Garcia and McGuinness, really good. Nigel McGuinness, come back full time. He's the best wrestler in this. Ricochet versus Mark Briscoe, maybe match of the year. Hurt Syndicate, Son of Texas, fine. Okada Bailey, way better than it should have been. Everything after that, I didn't really have much time for.
I mean,
the only match I was interested in was Anarchy in the Arena.
I bet that was really fun live. It was just really long.
Rip.
yeah, Anarchy in the Arena, like, it is what it is. I had fun watching it. They're not going to be able to capture like the magic of the first one. But for like one of these AEW gimmick matches that I guess now they feel like they have to do every year, I probably had more fun with this than most Anarchy in the Arena or Blood and Guts matches.
What about Stadium Stampedes?
Well, that's different.
I mean, yeah, there's lots of spots that like I thought were really fun. I just spent a lot of my time not paying attention to this match, like doing anything but looking at the TV. And then I'd look over and be like, oh, that's cool.
Would you have been paying more attention if Marina Shafir and Willow Nightingale were not involved?
No, they were both really good. No, this is not. You're not going to get me in this anti-women's thing. I'm going to not mention the women's world title match. I'm going to say Monet and Hayter was amazing. Oh, good. And Willow and Marina were both really great in this.
I had to bite back when you said Monet hate her earlier. I was like, why do you hate her?
Yeah, because she won't. She's like not losing enough people or something. I don't know. I don't know why Twitter doesn't like her.
Yeah, no. I mean, that's the problem with women wrestlers. Is, they win too much.
Yeah. But no, Willow fucking rules in this. I thought it was people. I saw people like really praising Shibata, and I'm not totally sure he was in this match. I never saw him when I looked up. And it just once Mark Briscoe showed up, it was like really exciting. But then I feel like there's like another 10 minutes after that almost. Like I thought it was gonna wrap up quicker. And then that 6-man tag after was just nothing. And then I didn't like Paige Ospreay at all, really.
I mean the 6-man tag is really not much of anything. It's like a collision main event that they put in to cool down the crowd, like to cool down between Anarchy and the Arena and the Owen final.
We would have called that in 2010's WWE. We would have called that the Divas title match.
If I was at that show when that match started, I would have been like, "Holy fuck, this is happening!" Like I would have thought, like for sure, like, "Oh, we just got the main event."
I mean, you gotta go pee. You gotta go pee before the main event. And here's Adam Cole. And I'm actually surprised that the crowd is as into that 6-man as they are for the cool, like very obvious cool down match. Like
crowds usually have shitty tastes. I agree.
For like, as many people are talking about the length of the show, and AEW is a company that has like killed crowds just by running extremely long pay-per-views. the crowd like stays into this entire show.
They really do. I really thought I'd be saying like, oh, this guy tried with the crowd, but they liked it. And then I like didn't think that John Callis family would win, so that shocked me. I think that's part of it too. Is that I don't know the last time I watched an AEW pay-per-view live, like start to finish. Actually, what happened is I had it on TV, and then my niece wanted to watch it, which doesn't usually happen. And so that's why I was like, oh shit, I guess we'll actually sit down and watch this. And she didn't make it all the way through, but she made it pretty far. And I mean, they're really long, but it's like these pay-per-views are going to be really long. I don't think that's like, why even make that a criticism? Like, what you're getting at this point with AEW pay-per-views.
Yeah, and like especially if you're like not watching live and you're just watching on like some website the next day.
Yeah, like you can watch it
like,
however you want to watch it.
Yeah, I was like, this isn't The Irishman. Like, this isn't Lawrence of Arabia. This is a wrestling show, and there are very obvious start and stop
Yeah,
points.
they make it so easy where you can stop watching. You have like 9 spots where you can be like, all right, I'll go to the next. I'll stop for a little bit.
But yeah, I mean, I watched it in like 3 sittings between IWRG shows and other stuff, and I had a lot of fun with it. Like you said, like the first 3 matches, like the stretcher match is awesome. The stretcher match is fucking great. Really awesome. Like Ricochet's heel shtick is I'm loving that. Mark Briscoe is just on fire the entire match. Bleeding a ton. As like you think the Ricochet bald stuff is played out, and it is, but like Mark Briscoe shining his head, I laughed. That was a really funny spot. I loved Mercedes Moné versus Jamie Hayter. I think it's good to see like Jamie Hayter kind of back on the level that she was before she got hurt. Because like since she came back, it's been like, oh, Jamie Hayter, like this should be fun, and I like her, and I like some of the matches she's had, but like this is like, all right, she is one of the top women's wrestlers in AEW again, which is good. I enjoyed FTR versus Garcia and Nigel. Hurt Syndicate tag is fun for what it is. Like it's Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin beating up Dustin and then also Sammy, and he's really just there to get beaten up too, so it's fine.
Is that their tag team name, Dustin and also Sammy?
Yeah, Dustin and also Sammy.
Okay.
Yeah, Anarchy in the Arena, really fun. Okada Bailey kind of surprised me with how.
I would say that was really fun.
I actually do prefer the Okada Kevin Knight match that happened a couple weeks ago. But yeah, I think like Mike Bailey has kind of, I'm losing like my tiredness of Mike Bailey somehow, even though he's on TV every week now. I mean, the base level opponent in AEW is going to be better than like whoever he's facing in Beyond or whatever. So that helps. And also having matches that are 8 to 15 minutes instead of being like the 20-minute indie match. So Mike Bailey has been really, really fun in AEW.
And the finish was like spectacular.
Yeah. the women's match, yeah, I like Tony, but this is not her best match out there. It's probably my least favorite match other than the 6-man. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was a pretty consistent show overall. I'm higher on Ospreay than anyone here. I'm not gonna say the Hangman Page match is close to my favorite Ospreay match, but for like the epic main event, I guess I just kind of accepted what that was going to be, and like got myself into the fun sequences and didn't really care. Like, I just let the goofiness overtake me. But I mean, like, in me saying it was better than Dean, I'm just saying, like, Dean's a fine show, but like, you said Ricochet Mark Briscoe might be match of the year, and there's not a match of the year on Dean. And like the second and third best matches on the show, like Okada versus Bayley, Mercedes versus Hayter, like that's already like a stronger point, and I liked Anarchy in the Arena more than you did.
Yeah, and like talking about it made me less sour. It's that I did like I liked the first half of Double or Nothing so much more than the second half. And like again, I watched it live, so it's like
Yeah,
you kind of forget all that goodwill you have, and then discussing it, I am like, oh, I am higher on the show than I thought. But yeah.
and I definitely like the first half of the show better than the second. But as far as like AEW big shows have gone, they've like really fallen off as they've gone on. Like Dynasty, and you got Adam Cole versus Daniel Garcia. That match fucking sucks. And you've got like a PWG 3-way with Kenny and Mike Bailey and Ricochet, who are all on 3 different better matches on this show. And then like Hangman Page versus Will Ospreay, that's still better than like Moxley versus Swerve. And so it's like I don't think Double or Nothing's going to be my show of the year, but I was just like, that's a pretty damn good AEW big show, all things considered.
Yeah, agreed. I had one more match I watched that I want to make sure I discuss because I don't think people are going to talk about it outside of here. Uncle Chase Burnett versus Mike Quackenbush took place for what is this, Chaos Wrestling Organization out of Michigan.
Okay.
Yeah. Mike Quackenbush, he's back in America, guys. You can't keep him away. You know, first I thought he was only going to wrestle in South America and Australia. Now he's back doing his stuff with Chase Burnett. I mean, it's them being silly and goofy on the mat. I mean, there's a cane involved, and Mike Quackenbush doing Mike Quackenbush stuff, which I've loved for 20 years and still love. So definitely check it out. Free on YouTube.
Well, I think discussing Mike Quackenbush is unless anyone else has any wrestling they want to discuss, I do think Quackenbush is a good segue to the big top. We got any other matches we want to rake over the coals?
Yeah, I'm going to talk about actual show of the year. February 16th, 2025, IWRG El Protector. What a show. And I mean that non-facetiously. That is like 100% like heartfelt. I don't know
So
if you're.
explain the gimmick of El Protector to people who may not be familiar with the annual tradition.
Yeah, so El Protector is essentially a younger IWRG guy tag teams with an established veteran. And in the past it's been a tournament, but now it's just a match with all of these guys in the same ring. And I mean, you've got a lot of the guys you love to see. You've got Fishman, you've got Mascara Sagrada, NG, you've got Iota Canis Lupus, you've got Iota Parada Morgan. Like just a really fun lineup up and down, and like it's one of those matches where it's like an Anarchy in the Arena match where yeah, it's not always like cohesive or whatever, but usually something cool's happening at all moments. Either crowd brawling or just like cool flips and dives or tag team offense. It when it gets down to the final two, because it's an elimination match, or the final four, it slows down a bit and kind of takes it down a peg. But like overall, it's just a really fun match. But the rest of the card,
It looks
you've got,
sick.
yeah, you've got a singles match with Cerebro Negro Jr. and Freelance, which is probably my favorite individual like freelance performance I've seen in a minute. Because sometimes he's looking old. There's a fun 4-way that opens the show. A good trios with Aguila, Roja, Multifacetico, and Ray Halson versus Aquiles, Hector Siriano Jr. and Io del Alabrije. A really fun tag match with Belsigor, who is the former Fulgor Uno, and Puma de Oro versus Flamita and Noisy Boy. And then match of the show is a chain match with Caballero de Plata versus Cerebro Negro Sr. And if you liked the first bit of Adam Priest versus Mad Dog, where Priest is doing the heel work, not putting the collar on, and just being a heel and trying to get an advantage before the match officially starts. Cerebro Negro is not putting on the chain for like 5 minutes. And the ref is just constantly following him around, and he's shaking off the ref to beat up Caballero de Plata more until he finally gets put in a submission and the ref can put the chain on. And like Caballero de Plata is already like bleeding a ton before the match officially starts. And so like that's what it's all about. Like you are not going to get a better IWRG card than this. You can't convince me you could.
I haven't
in
watched much
2025.
IWRG this year, but Cerebro Negro's got like so much stuff that looks interesting and good that I need to eventually catch up with.
Yeah, it is a really fun show. And watching it directly after the IWRG show that had the 17-minute Daga match.
Oh, I can't wait for you to round that up.
I'll spoil it. I will not be featuring that match in the roundup.
Oof. All right.
Even as an honorable mention.
Come on.
That entire show is like there's like one fun trios match. That isn't even like it's not going to be a top 25 trios match in IWRG this year. and that's the highlight. Everything else is dookie.
So you're saying following
So-
up Dogger versus Hellboy with a pig match that ends in a DQ wasn't the way to go?
I mean, that's better than Daga versus Hellboy. That's what I watched.
Sam, you watch anything else you want to talk about?
Oh, I've been watching more 1984 wrestling. I've decided I maybe will blog about it. So that's exciting for Dan
Hell yeah.
specifically, and that's really the only person that I think would care. But spoiler, the match that Hogan wins the title, not that good. So look forward to that.
I'm on the edge of my
Who knows
seat.
how long?
When are we going to see that?
Well, you gave away the big twist already.
Let's say like a month. Let's say a
There was-
month.
You really got me for a split second. I was like, he's going to say the Hogan title wins great. That's wild.
I've been a proponent that maybe Hogan's actually good, folks.
Only when
And
he's
I
in
watched that.
Japan.
Yeah, and then I watched that, and I'm like, man, maybe he's not. Maybe I like watched the Roddy Piper cage match from WCW or whatever, and I thought that fucking rocked, and I was like, yeah, bad rap. And then I watched this, and I'm like, you know what? These folks, man, they were onto something here. They understood what was happening. Why am I trying to reinvent the wheel when people are just right sometimes? So
There was times where you're like, let me be the judge of that. And you're like, oh no, they judges this fine. My bad.
Also, just like Kerry Von Erich versus Kamala. Kerry Von Erich, one of just the funniest wrestlers to book in a monster match because he's always like as big as them. That's just a massive human being. It's very funny. It's very funny. That's all I'll talk about for 1984 wrestling. Gotta
say
keep
you
the
were-
hot takes
So
here.
were you recently watching Halloween Havoc 97?
No, I was not recently watching that match.
Oh.
I have watched that match, and I thought,
Oh.
man, this match whips. This was years ago.
Okay.
I have no reason to watch Halloween Havoc 97 currently.
I watched
Ah,
that. I watched that show so much growing up, and like I want to be like, oh, I was so in the Eddie and Ray, but it's like no, I accidentally stole it from my library.
Oh,
Like
come on.
so I had it for a really long time. Well, because I didn't return it, and then they took it off of my. They didn't say I needed to return it, and so I was too afraid to be like, hey, I still have this, because I was like, what if they are like, well, you owe us this many late fees, which they definitely wouldn't have, but I was fucking 8 or 9.
Got me there.
Yeah.
Got me there.
Before this guy tries to slam us into the big top, somebody wrote for the site.
Who was that, Dan?
That was me. I wrote about
Hell
Necro
yeah, it
Butcher.
was.
Thought I'd change it up for a chance.
You haven't
Gotta-
talked about him enough.
I gotta get in the Necro Butcher. Necro Butcher in Ring of Honor turns out really fucking good there too. Yeah, I just explored
feel
I
like-
think 7 or 8
I
of
feel
his
like we
matches.
should congratulate you for being the only person ever brave enough to take that stance.
Listen,
Really spitting in the face of convention with your hot
I
take
think-
that Necro Butcher in Ring of Honor was pretty good.
I think my hot take would be something like, if you could only watch every match of someone from Ring of Honor, who would it be? It's not Necro, but he's top 5. I think it's a pretty hot take, honestly.
Okay, so it goes Prince Nana, Jimmy Rave,
Oh.
Necro, who else?
Probably BJ Whitmer, Chad Collier,
Conan
And you-
technically wrestled in Ring of Honor.
Unibrow, Matt Striker.
Charlie Haas.
Oh, that's my favorite era of Ring of Honor too.
It's my favorite era of Charlie Haas too. He's looking great.
He looks so good.
Looks totally normal.
He looks like
Quite
someone who
natural.
should show up in the basement for XPW.
I think it's not too late.
Yeah, he's not dead. It's Russ.
Well, now you had
Uh,
to go and bring the whole thing down.
I don't know if XPW is running the show anytime soon though.
No, XBW.
Why not?
Not
Oh,
XPW.
XBW. Okay. Yeah, they're running shows all the time in a basement.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like the basement kill room is like the perfect venue for Ring of Honor Charlie Haas.
But the other thing you have to realize is that when writing this is that his last match was 15 years ago. So a lot of people on Discord were like 1 year old.
I don't want
Like,
to think about that, so I'm not going to.
Just letting you know. Little babies, they need to know.
Then they're really going to hate when we get to the big top and it's all these people's takes from like fucking 2011.
Yeah, do we have anything else coming up on the site? We had my thing, Koro doing his thing. There's
Koro
4
has
episodes.
branched off into Koro has branched off into classic
He just
match recommendation.
Yes.
can't be stopped.
Just needs to tell you about all the matches. You know what? It's the right thing to do.
There was a 4th episode of Late Night with the 2012 Royal Rumble.
Those things come out hot and fast.
Yeah.
There's no break from that recording to that getting into your ears.
I think it was he originally published the 4th one, calling it the 3rd one, which is always a good look.
You know what? He's made 2 mistakes in 4 episodes on titles. So like that's great. Like you want that. You know what, Bork? Let's like show some professionalism.
It features Jade of the Discord, but not that Jade.
Yep. Not that Jade. Sorry, Henry. Gotta lambast you a little bit for that one.
Do you guys remember when
did he
Dixie
die?
Carter tweeted happy birthday to Sting, and it was just the fucking wrong Sting account? Like she just tweeted like happy birthday at some random person.
To the musician? Oh.
I think it was I can't even remember what account it was, but it was like at Sting something, and it was just totally wrong.
Yeah, a Cole, I assume that DDT has never finished their tournament, and that we only did 6 nights of the Best of Super Juniors.
Perfect.
This year, so it's all wrapped up.
That all makes sense.
Yeah.
That all makes sense.
Will there be more stuff? I don't know. Probably not. Well, probably Koro, but then we're recording on Tuesday, and this is Thursday, so who can know?
This is gonna be a real quick turnaround.
Yeah.
If you think, wow, these guys don't actually watch a lot of wrestling, you're gonna be shocked about how bad it will be on Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm basically not gonna say a word next week.
He'll be there though.
Oh,
I promise you that. I promise you that.
I just realized it just make the comment. I was like, we'll wait till we record and then we'll ask someone to be on. That feels like enough time. And then I just forgot we moved to a podcast episode.
I was having the same realization in real time. I was like, I won't have time to write anything before Tuesday. I'm like, who will be on Tuesday?
It was like, we should really. I was going to do that on Wednesday. And then now I'm realizing, okay, we didn't record, which was the trigger for making that happen.
We can't ask Cole or Porrick. They're too busy filling up the lab.
They got their own podcasts.
Yeah.
We should ask the Jade that Henry actually added. Balance it out.
There we go.
Both Jades get their time in the sun.
I think that's the right call.
Or we could ask Dixie Carter.
All right. There we go.
I mean, what's she fucking doing? It's not like she's got some big important thing she needs to be at.
Is it time for a big top?
I think it's time for the big top. Mostly because I've lost track of what we were talking.
Sorry, I'm late in that. I'm trying to figure out if we can get someone from the 2012 Royal Rumble to do VPR by Tuesday.
You wanna cuck Porrick by getting Alex Riley?
I'm just trying my best. I'm reaching out.
Well, we are going to see someone from the 2012 Royal Rumble in this big top, because following on the classic, much beloved episode where we discussed the biggest jerks in wrestling as voted by the users of the top10s.com. Tonight, we're going to be counting down the top 10 strongest WWE wrestlers of all time. The Top 10s is a website in which people can build a list, and then it can be you can have the items of the list voted up and down. It can be ranked democratically. The real magic of the site is in the comments, which seem to be all insane people. It seems to be like this is a website that you can only log into from a mentalist. And that's content, baby. That's what we love. So are you guys ready? The first time we did one of these, I had you kind of guess at who was on the list. This time, I think we should just go down the list from 10 to 1 and let the audience be the ones to discover who, in fact, are the strongest wrestlers in WWE history. Does that sound good to you guys?
That sounds lovely.
Well, number 10. Number 10 is Andre the Giant.
He's pretty strong. He's really big.
He's a giant.
Well, I'm looking up the comments of this. Someone says, I just accidentally clicked out of it. This is the problem with this. I should have if I had had more time, if I hadn't been working overtime this week, I would have screenshotted stuff so that I could call it up easily. What was I on? Okay. So someone says he was one of the living legends, could easily lift monsters like Ric Flair or Hulk Hogan. Have you guys ever considered Ric Flair to be an unliftable monster?
Just a monster.
Yeah, famously, he didn't hurt him, get fucked up so badly that he had to lose a bunch of weight. And that's where most of his career lies after that. And he's smaller than everyone else around him for heavyweights.
What about, we've got most of these comments are unsigned, but someone named iSynthetic says, I'd say he's the strongest wrestler of all time. He's an actual giant, suffering from gigantism. His strength has never been matched. Also, I do believe newer athletes have much more advanced steroids. He was a monster in the 70s and 80s. Is that why Andre is number 10?
The steroid technology now is crazy. It's true.
So is this Andre? Is this Andre?
This is Andre. This is Andre,
Okay.
the 10th strongest wrestler in WWE history.
Damn. Great stuff.
Nobody has ever come close to the strength of Andre's muscles, nor the strength of his heart. A true gentle giant in every sense of the word. He was easily the classiest wrestler in history and was never touched by scandal.
Okay, question. Is there a list of the classiest wrestlers on this website? If not, there should be.
We might have to start that just to farm it in a year's time.
Lay the seeds.
Sustainable farming of maniac commenters.
Number 1, Freddie Blassie. No one classier.
I love it. I love it.
We've got one more comment on Andre the Giant, which is, I think he is the real giant of WWE.
Okay. Is that slight at the Big Show?
Well, he's
Also
not a
known as
giant in
the
WWE.
Giant? That's so real. I'm such an idiot.
Someone also wrote Andre the Giant, and it cut off before the word giant finished, so it's Andre the Giant. And that's the entire comment.
Hard to disagree. You know?
So let's move on to number 9. Number 9, speaking of advancements in steroid technology, is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, the 9th strong. You guys think that The Rock is stronger than Andre the Giant?
Yeah.
Hey, results don't lie. Results don't lie.
The recurring theme in all these.
Yeah.
Sorry. The recurring theme in all these the comments is, so and so should be number 1. and then they start listing all of the people that they beat as proof of their strength. Yes, The Rock should be ranked number 1. He has defeated John Cena, H, The Undertaker, Stone Cold Steve Austin, etc. He has rock-bottomed Big Show, Mark Henry, etc. And in his debut, he defeated by eliminating 3 or 4 superstars. He is indeed one of the strongest wrestlers. When you lay it out like that.
Hard to say no to that.
I know The Rock is very powerful than many wrestlers, and he is the most successful star with electrifying moves. He can even beat Brock Lesnar, but there's some cheat occurred in the match. That's why he loses. I know that a lot of these comments are probably just like genuinely ESL, but a lot of them also read like anytime Charlie has to write something on Always Sunny.
Yeah, it is a little bit of that energy.
If you smell what The Rock and what is Cookie.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
couldn't put it better myself.
Nailed it. 10 out
I
of
think
10.
I think this one best captures The Rock's strength. I am his number 1 fan. He is basically unstoppable. Y'all seen his matches, and I respect him.
Okay.
And we have seen his matches. There are no lies there. Number 8, stronger than Andre the Giant and The Rock. The Great Khali, star of the 2012 Royal Rumble.
This is what I'm talking about.
Do you guys have any good Great Khali memories? Of,
I like
his feats of strength.
I like that one Punjabi prison match. That was like
Actually, yeah, that match is sick.
Randy Orton and Jinder Mahal, and Great Khali comes down like halfway into the match, and then he never appears again.
Just like in real life. Man, it's gonna be sad when they do like the Great Khali, like fucking, like 5 years from now they bring him out for a Royal Rumble and he's just like unable to walk. But as an anonymous commenter put it, very unfair. Everyone knows the Great Khali is most powerful man in WWE. He is slow, but no man can bear Khali's giant arms attack. Even he has defeated Big Show in single punch. Big Show had gone unconscious after facing Great Khali's tiny trailer. I have no idea what tiny trailer could mean in this context. Did he have a tiny trailer that he did something with?
I could not begin to tell you.
What about this? He is the perfect example of a strong man. You talk about height, weight, anger. It's all with the great man. I'm not sure I've ever had seen anger classified as one of the necessary traits of strength. I'm also not sure Great Khali ever emoted anything, let alone anger.
Just a big guy being a big dude. What more could you want?
Are we a Great Khali podcast or are we a Satnam Singh podcast? Where are we on that ride?
Why do we have to choose?
Well, for the clicks mostly.
Oh, okay.
Strong wrestlers. All around.
God damn it. Sorry, guys. Dan was taking a shit. Just got back.
Okay, my favorite comment on the Great Khali is just someone who very correctly points out Remove the WWE rules and regulations. This guy can kill anyone.
We know that for a fact.
I mean, that's wrestling right there. If you remove all the rules and regulations, they can kill anyone. And only the strongest will survive. Unfortunately, there are 7 people stronger than the Great Khali who will survive longer than him. And the next one in this countdown of the strongest men in WWE history, I'm just going to read the comment, and you'll see who it is. As a fan of Kane, I must say Kane is the best. History also shows that Kane is indeed the best. I'm really unhappy that Kane was never defeated by any other wrestler. He was defeated only by WWE scripts and WWE writers. If you
Okay.
watch Kane's matches, you'll see that every time Kane is about to win, someone distracts him and Kane loses. I know WWE created our Kane, but I also say loudly that WWE ruined our Kane as well. They never allowed Kane to become a great champion, conqueror, or legend. And it goes on like this for like a whole fucking other paragraph.
David Bix right there. What is that? What is going on?
I think it might actually be Bix.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I do not see the username Cactus Bix attached to this comment, but we can assume. I do. Is it true that Kane has only ever lost by distraction finish?
Never lost clean.
I think
And
evidence
he
will
was
bear
never
out.
he was never defeated by another wrestler. He was only defeated by scripts. Actually, when I think of someone defeated by scripts, I think of like Louis Spicolli, but still. I don't know. I thought that joke would.
I just got it. I'm slow.
I thought it would get us some clicks. Maybe not the kind of clicks that we want, but beggars can't be choosers.
We even handle any more clicks?
We can try. I am watching WWE from I was 6-year-old, and I watched Kane first time in 1998. Kane was the great wrestler in the WWF. He made his big mistake by removing the Halloween mask and big red T-shirt. Now he become old, but he can still defeat his enemy. But now evil is broken in WWE. I like calling Kane's ring costume a big red T-shirt.
Big red T-shirt.
The big red T-shirt. That was his nickname.
A lot of these comments are just about how Kane is old now.
Not
Which-
wrong.
I'm like,
He was strong
yeah,
enough
but
to
it's like
survive.
when you consider, everyone like Andre the Giant's fucking dead.
He is no longer aging. So why bring it up?
He is definitely decomposed. I think whatever muscle mass Andre the Giant had is now long gone.
Aw.
Only one way to find out.
True.
The last one I'll read about Kane is he can choke slam the Hardy Boys at the same time, and he can hold pain.
Yep.
Sam, where do you think Steve Payne would rank on a like strongest wrestlers 2025? Like ballpark, what range?
Steve Payne, the luchador, or Mike Payne, the greatest wrestler of all time?
I meant Mike Payne. Steve,
Okay.
I always mean Mike Payne, and then I end up saying Steve Payne like a fucking idiot. Steve
sorry, I
Payne,
shouldn't have brought it
the
up.
luchador. Steve Payne, the luchador, does not rank at all. No one likes him. He only exists for me to confuse him with Mike Payne, aka Payne, aka his other name that I've also forgotten, aka Steve.
We'll have to keep working through the list because clearly stronger than Kane. But like, who else?
Well, Steve Payne has deleted his Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, even his MySpace.
Okay.
So he's
That's good.
He's a
Definitely
ghost
not
right
canceled.
now. No, he's a ghost. That's
All right.
Well, number 6 on the list. We don't know if Mike Payne is stronger than, equal in strength. The Undertaker.
Stronger than Taker, for sure. For sure.
I like how someone voted him up and started their comment with, "He may not be the strongest physically."
Oh, good way to start. That was it.
Most of the comments about why he is the strongest of all time are about the streak. So I bet those people
Okay.
feel pretty foolish now, 10 years later.
Okay,
They
well-
also like bringing up how constantly injured the Undertaker is.
Yeah, from his feats of strength.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely how he got injured all those times. Undertaker rose from the depths of hell. John Cena could only stare fearfully at him. That's definitely Pix. Do you guys ever read those wrestling recaps where people try to like really flex, like, I got a creative writing degree and I'm going to make this Raw recap really sparkle? Isn't that just like the most annoying shit in the world?
Yeah.
I feel like you're
I have
calling.
to reading those reviews to start, which is
Yeah.
not something I am probably
I just, like, I want to just skim, see what the result is, see like was the match good or bad. I don't want to read someone's like, applying like film theory criticism to like Hangman Page having, doing some stupid fucking Hangman Page thing.
If I found myself reading a Raw recap though in the year 2025, it's I who went wrong there.
That's true. That's fair enough.
True.
A recap of any show, really. About The Undertaker, he can choke slam Khalid, also mostly drug free.
Mostly.
Pretty good.
Yeah. He is very strong and handsome and just, he is my hero. I'm not sure anyone has ever referred to The Undertaker as handsome before.
No
I don't
shit.
think even Michelle McCool. Oh, no, here's The Undertaker must be in first place because if he uses his black magic, then everyone will die.
Oh shit. Then yeah, put him in first place of all the list if that's what we're risking.
Also, this is the time frame that we're working with is another comment is about how he is 20-0 at WrestleMania. But do you know who's stronger than Black Magic?
Who?
No BS, Paul White, aka the Big
Oh.
Show, aka Mike Payne.
Unfortunately, I do think this is where Mike Payne tops out. Not stronger than the Big Show.
The world's largest athlete.
Correct. 100%. 100%.
It's not Little Show, you know what I mean?
Okay, this
You're
person
telling
starts
me.
the comment by saying, "I think Cesaro is stronger."
Oh, wrong, motherfucker. Wrong.
I want to see that like fucking lifting competition of just
No
like
one's ever-
Cesaro clearly putting his all into it, and Big Show just like doing it casually, smoking a cigarette while he deadlifts.
No, he doesn't smoke cigarettes. He vapes. That's
Oh yeah,
documented.
even better. Big Show vaping while he deadlifts.
No one's
The
ever got more
trending-
credit for throwing around 175-pound men than Claudio.
Oh, come on. That's a little rude.
That comment comes from like announcers saying pound for pound the strongest wrestler,
Yeah.
not knowing what pound for pound means.
No, it's like Claudio, very obviously a very strong man, stronger than me, but like it's the Big Show.
Yeah, pound for pound means like relative to his size, he's stronger. But that does not mean he is the strongest person.
I will say when Zach Gowen came out of when he moved from Juggalo Championship Wrestling to All Elite Wrestling, my first thought was like, I really hope Claudio does a giant swing on this guy.
That would be awesome.
That would be the sickest shit ever, man. Like in many senses of the term.
All right. All right.
Someone points out, Big Show is fat and slow, but can squash smaller people if in a real fight.
Okay,
Not
now
wrong.
this guy, I'm looking at these comments. Now, this guy's what I'm thinking. Just look how big he is.
Yeah.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, just look how big he
Look
is.
at some
How are you
bitch.
gonna put him over the rope?
Can't.
I mean, it always takes like 7 people, or The Rock accidentally losing the match and then having to ignore that. Going to shout out to my new podcast where I do nothing but watch the 2000 Royal Rumble.
That's a
Check
better
him out.
Rumble than 2012. I'm gonna tell you that much.
Fuck yeah, it is. 2000 Rumble kicks ass. Someone calls Big Show the world's strongest Viking man.
I am constantly thinking about Vikings when I'm watching the Big Show.
I'm just like, man, they should have given him that gimmick. They should have busted out like the fucking Berserker costume.
Oh, show do Vikingo.
Someone also, this is kind of comments I would be writing, which is, come on, Big Show is the strongest. Did you see when he chucked Rey Mysterio in the ring from the outside? I'm like, yeah, that would be my approach to this also.
Yeah, you need to prove the strength. You need to show the work, people.
And it would also be like, basically every time I'm on this podcast, where I'm just like, you guys remember that one thing that happened like 15 years ago? Wasn't that cool?
And it was really cool when he did that.
I think the appeal of the Big Show is best summed up with the very last comment on the last page of the commentary. Here is, if you are not fat, you suck. So, Kyle
Not
Fletcher,
wrong.
you're on notice.
Not wrong.
So now we're getting into people who actually credibly could be the strongest wrestler in WWE history. Number 4 is the world's strongest man, Mark Henry.
Now,
They
okay,
named 3 stronger men.
yeah.
Well,
That's
they're
his
not
thing.
they must be from different worlds.
I guess that is an opportunity. That is an option.
But you know what? I'm gonna say it is not what the case is. Not what the case is.
Yeah, who are these aliens who are stronger than the world's strongest man?
Well, none of the Mark Henry comments seem very funny, so we might as well skip to the next person.
Whoa, what does that mean?
It's just people being like, he was the world's strongest man. He was in the Olympics. He can fucking bench like 900 pounds.
All right, yeah, I'm not speaking.
No one's saying anything crazy.
Well, hey, we got
Why he is
the
called?
record.
He is the
That
strongest
feels
man in the world, but not the strongest wrestler? Question mark.
It's important
He's
to
not.
say.
The world and WWE are very different things.
WWE is the universe. I know that for a fact.
Yeah,
People and wrestlers are not the same thing.
that's true. As Hulk Hogan testified at the Gawker trial.
That's 1,000%.
Oh, here's one. He is not strong in the or actually strong. He's not strong in the WWE. He is strong in 1996, but in WWE, he sucks.
All right, yeah. Wrong, but okay.
He has won many Olympic gold medals in the 1990s. I don't think that's true. I don't think he won many gold medals.
How many's got?
Well, let's look it up.
We're all
We are
looking it
going
up. We're all
to-
going. Where the
How
fuck is
many
it?
gold medals does Mark Henry have? I should have asked Grok, but he
The
won
answer's-
1 gold medal at the 1995 Pan American Games.
Which is not the Olympics for anyone asking. It looks like he has exactly 0 gold medals in the Olympics.
That's the same number I have.
Someone is, I mean, so this one actually does have a name on it. Get Out YT. We do need to contact Get Out YT and let them know they've made a mistake. in the comments on Mark Henry on the strongest wrestlers ever list.
There you go.
I like how many of these, there's so many of these comments just say world's strongest man, and that's it.
That's all we need to say.
Someone else, one comment is in the middle of all this. Someone just said Mark Henry has been beat before.
All right. Got me there.
Let's
Well,
see
I'm glad
who's
we brought
stronger
this to
than
the
Mark
record.
Henry.
I'm glad we made sure to at least say, hey, some things are false that we're about to say, but he's strong. And he's won things. And who's stronger?
Goldberg has not lost a single match in his career in WCW or WWE that was ever conducted without foul play. He is undisputed when the match is one-on-one and played fair. Within a single year, he defeated every single superstar in WWE, including Brock Lesnar. Actually, if you tune into YouTube, you can see Brock running. The man can still do a backflip at this age. His record of 173-0 in WCW reigns supreme. The streak would not have been broken if that wrestler hadn't shocked him with an electric rod during the match. Do you guys remember that time when Bill Goldberg defeated every single superstar in WWE?
Hard to
I think it was
forget.
yesterday.
You know, the classic matches of Goldberg versus like Sin Cara.
Oh,
But yes, Goldberg is stronger than Mark Henry, according to psychos on the internet.
you know what? Who am I to debate that?
Someone calls him the biggest freak of nature ever.
That seems rude.
I'm just kind of like, have you only ever watched like 3 wrestlers?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Well, wait. This one makes
I-
sense to me. Brock is the best and strongest man in WWE because he's the only one to beat Taker at WrestleMania.
I knew
Brock
it was
also
gonna come
I-
out.
Has a good
when
body.
you were like, this one makes sense to me, I was hoping that you were leading into the comment I'm looking at right now.
Oh, what is it?
Give me a second. I gotta
got
read this. I gotta treat this comment with the serious tone that it was obviously written in. I'm gay. I love staring at your body. It gives me a boner. I love your back and arms. They are so big. But I hate you for being married. I wish I could suck you dry. I would do it better
God.
than your own wife. That is someone commenting on the list of the strongest wrestlers in WWE history.
I'll be the first to tell you, I didn't like that very much. Didn't like it at
I
all.
loved it.
Hot and cold
Okay,
on
so
it.
we're tied.
I'm cold on it.
Well, it makes some
Shit.
good points. It just makes them in a bad.
Yeah, I agree with some of the points, not all of them. I don't want to be crazy, you know.
It's like the whole, you know, economically conservative, socially liberal. Man, there are a lot of, you know, now that I'm going through the comments more, it's like there are more people who are just like, yeah, his body is great. No, I'm like, after that comment, it's ruined.
Who else could be stronger?
Who could be stronger? Mr. Brock Edward Lesnar.
That's
Now,
the one.
Brock Lesnar is someone who I do think is like when someone you talk about freaks of nature in wrestling.
I mean, he
that's
beat Goldberg, who beat everyone else
He
in the
beat Goldberg.
WWE.
it's true. He beat Zach Gowen. He beat Rey Mysterio. He beat trying to think of other small people Brock faced. He probably beat Chavo at some point.
Danielson.
Well, that was
No
more
strong wrestler.
a spiritual tie. I'm looking through, you know, I'm looking for it after that deranged comment about someone who wants to be Goldberg's wife or something. I'm just like, what can compare now?
Nothing.
So you would think that Brock would bring out the crazy in people's comments.
He works very
Someone
hard.
does.
He works very hard day after day, and I get it. He's number one. They like resign. They're like, oh, what can you do?
I get it, man.
Someone is saying like there's no one more powerful than Brock, and then someone else replied to that like, what about the Russian Alexander Rusev?
What about
Yeah.
Russian?
What about him?
What about Alexander Rusev?
And
He
so
can
Brock,
still be number one.
That's true. We haven't gotten to number one yet. Number one could be Rusev, which would be talk about wasted by Tony Khan if he had the strongest person in the world and then didn't do anything with him.
Classic Tony.
Well, about Brock, someone wrote, he is my favorite wrestler, except Brock Lesnar. All WWE players are weak. All are losers.
Yeah.
Brock
Hard to
Lesnar is
disagree.
the beast, will be beast. I have no doubt about it. I keep wanting to read that as like, beast will be beast, as in like boys will be boys. But number one, the strongest WWE wrestler of all time. Who do we have for that? People who didn't spoil themselves by looking at the list. Who could possibly be stronger than Brock? Let alone the other 8 people.
John Cena. The one and only.
It's got to be Cena.
It's gotta be Cena.
John
It's
Cena
Alexander
executed-
Rusev.
I wish. Just like a demented Rusev fans just bombing the voting. Number one is John Cena. As a commenter claims, John Cena can deadlift 1 ton now.
Oh yeah, he can. You're telling me.
Someone else points out he lifts for fun.
Fuck.
Only the strongest.
What can you even say to that?
You can't deny that.
The guy lifts
All right,
weights for fun.
Hard to compete. Hard to compete.
I saw him lift Show and Edge on his back at the same time at WrestleMania.
Ooh,
Like,
that ain't strong.
Is that a comment or did you see that, Dan?
I'm gonna let you, it's both.
He is not the strongest man. Goldberg is. Yes, he lifted Big Show and Edge at the same time, but he only lifted them for only 1 second. He can't lift Mark Henry. I feel like I've seen John Cena lift Mark Henry.
Oh, 100%.
Like
I would
they had
be
that.
shocked.
He had to have given Mark Henry like an attitude adjustment or something.
I'd be shocked if that never happened.
I mean, the guy can deadlift 1 ton. He can fucking pick up Mark Henry. There are a lot of comments about the Big Show and Edge thing, using that as the evidence that he's the strongest. Someone who clearly mentions he won a lot of matches and he RKO people a lot of times. I'm
Straight
not
up
sure
facts.
Ryan Mondong knows which wrestler he's watching. But yet, John Cena, the number 1 strongest wrestler in history.
Fact.
The problem is you can't really do this list with like AEW because, I mean, who do they have they have like Wardlow. It's like their only strong guy.
Paul White.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Well, I mean, yeah, but now he has his strength diminished with age.
Oh, that's a fair question.
Look at those legs.
They do have
strong as ever.
they do have the number 15 ranked strongest WWE wrestler, Mr. Robert Lashley. Cesaro ranked number 20. So, get
Okay.
the fuck out of here. Rusev 22. Just edging out Ahmed Johnson and Road Warrior Animal. Now, this one I'm puzzled by. At number 26, Rey Mysterio Jr.
Pound for pound, baby.
Pound.
Pound,
Oh,
pound.
Pound for pound.
Oh, shit.
The first comment on it points out that Rey is so strong he accidentally killed someone while wrestling. I'm not sure that that's what happened, and also that's a pretty insane justification. Bob Sapp, number 28, though. He should probably be higher. But yeah, we have gone through the top 10 wrestlers, the top 10 strongest wrestlers. The top 10 wrestlers is an entirely different list that hopefully is funnier than this one, because this one,
it
I
could be a
thought the
pretty similar list.
it would probably have more Shawn Michaels, who is listed, according to these voters, Shawn Michaels is stronger than Bret Hart.
Sounds like Sam posted that.
Oh, come on. Why would you say
I'm
that?
looking at Concrete 1992 says
Shut the fuck up.
Chris Benoit, 75th strongest wrestler of all time.
Xavier Woods on here under newcomers. He has 5 comments. New Day rocks. Funny. Terrible. He's my favorite member of the New Day by far. I will always believe he is strong. And then just a racist one.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know why. Only one of the 5 comments talks about his strength.
That's kind of how it is with all these, though. They do have Chris Masters at number 89. And stronger than Chris Masters is Ricochet and Spike Dudley.
Pound for pound.
Meanwhile, Tony Atlas is number 95. I don't know, man. Should we go into Q&AR? Because otherwise, I'm just going to keep looking at this shit. Hornswoggle, number 108. Stronger than Christian.
Q&AR.
That's a great transition.
I liked how for a second the laugh was like syncing up really well with the Diplo horns. Let me find Q&AR is the section of the podcast in case this is your first BPR, in which case, anyone who's like jumping in at number 52 foolishly thinking that they don't need to listen to the other 51 episodes to understand the storyline of the show. This is where we take questions via our Discord and then we answer them. Or, well, 3 of us answer them, and then Sam is just like, that question's fucking stupid and for jerk-offs.
I'm usually right.
The problem with our method here is that I'm scrolling up through the VP updates looking for where the question started.
You're going to have a hard time with that. You're going to have a hard time with that.
Tim asks, favorite match from DEAN2?
Feels like we covered it. Tim, calm down.
Well, Tim asked that a week ago, so. Now I have to scroll through.
Eamon asked, what's your favorite spaceship?
Oh, yes, that's the one I was looking for. You guys, who's got a favorite spaceship out of this group? Because I do.
I like Serenity from Firefly.
Oh.
I got to give it up to a nostalgic pick, but one that I also think is a fairly timeless design for a spaceship, despite being objectively very weird, and that is the USS Enterprise D, Star Trek: The Next Generation.
It's a good spaceship.
It's a good one.
I think it's a great spaceship. Even though it kind of looks like a deformed tadpole.
Um, what's
I think
the big spaceship from Spaceballs? It's about 70,000.
that's the balls.
There we go. Number 1.
I don't actually know the name of the spaceship from Spaceballs.
No, who does?
I'm sure, like, someone listening to this is like, you fucking idiots, it's the whatever. Like, someone's just, like, vibrating with rage.
Yeah. Sorry, folks. It's the big spaceship from Spaceballs. That's the answer. I'm gonna go with that.
I mean, they can.
What's your favorite? What's your favorite real life spaceship, Sam? Since I think you specified.
I don't have one, but
Mm.
like I just want to make sure that I wasn't getting into a conversation where I'd be made look dumb. So didn't
Would you look
succeed
dumb?
there anyway, but
Like, what was your, like, the three of us were going to be like, actually, the Columbia space shuttles are blah, blah, and
exactly.
you just be sitting there like,
Yep, 100%, 100%. I'd be like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? Gladly.
That's
Luckily,
me.
we didn't run
That's
into this.
me whenever we talk about wrestling, though. So. So Jade, star of Late Night with the 2012 Royal Rumble, asks, now that Knicks Thunder is the confirmed NBA Finals matchup, which modern-day wrestlers would you pair with Brunson and Shy, respectively, in a modern-day Rodman and Hogan versus Malone and DDP match? So I guess in this, Brunson is Rodman and Shy is Malone, which does not say good things about Shy's character.
I love to call him Shy. That's my favorite part of this. I don't like the question, so I'm not going to answer it. You guys go.
Yes, I have bad news. I don't think it's confirmed quite yet.
Ooh, yeah, tough one.
What happened?
Nothing.
Okay.
Turns out all our teams are fucking losers. Is what happened.
Mine's the least loser, though. Mm-hmm.
Oh my god! Yeah, you get to lose in 6 games to the Pacers.
Yeah. Hey, they could make it come back. See?
I said that before the pod. You were not about it.
Yeah, but now they've won 111 and 94. So maybe they figured out the Pacers offense. So
I think what you have to do is you have to do Brunson and Logan Paul against Shea and The Rock. And I'll hate it.
So
how
the
mad?
fatal.
You guys fucking suck.
No, go on, Chris. Sorry.
No, how mad is Halliburton that he's not in this match?
Fuck Halliburton.
As the wrestling fan, the world's most famous WWE fan.
I don't know if that's true.
Sure, he's happier than ever that he gets to watch the magic unfold. He gets a front row seat. But I was going to say the fatal mistake of this question is that it does not specify that this has to be a WWE thing. So it is Brunson and Necro Butcher versus Necro Brunson versus Shea and Mickey Knuckles.
Okay, in that case, I'll do Brunson and Bear Bronson versus SGA and CPA.
There you have it, folks.
A Beyond show near you.
Yeah, Wrestling Open. For some reason, gets the fucking the NBA.
Did you say SGA and PWH? Is that what you said?
SGA and CPA.
Oh. Get PWH in there. That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to make it something I don't want to watch. And if you put
Ooh.
CPH in it, I'm gonna want to watch, or not CPH, PWH.
Everyone's calling PWH, by the way. Everyone's calling. As a side, that's the acronym we're going with, and not just what I put in my notes. So I don't have to write out his whole name.
I'm just scrolling through a bunch of unrelated non-question conversation. Picture of Tim with Hiroshi Tanahashi. Cool. Boric getting his episode number wrong. Sam threatening to ban him from Violent People Labs. By the way, if anyone wants to get banned from the Violent People Labs, you can submit an idea for a podcast thing to the Violent People Labs. It doesn't have to be an ongoing thing. It can be a one-off. It can be a limited run. And once you have something going, Sam can ban you for it. So we are taking offers.
I'm just now seeing that Isabel asked a question and I immediately answered it, not realizing it was for Q&A Are.
Well, go ahead, answer it again.
Which AEW wrestler should wrestle one of the Jackass guys? And you can't say Darby. Said Roosh. That's all I gave her. That one word. That's all she's getting.
Mark Briscoe.
That's 2 words.
Mark Briscoe's a great one. That's a great shout.
See, I wrote, I'm saving my answer for recording, and now I don't remember what my answer.
You didn't save it.
I didn't save it. I didn't save it well enough. But my thought process is you have to have someone who can, like, Roosh does not strike me as someone who can, like, do humor. You would really need someone like Park. Someone who can engage in the stunt show aspect of it by doing these spectacular bumps and by punching Dave England in the head for real for some reason. But someone who can also do the silly stuff.
Does Park wrestle for AEW?
No, I forgot the AEW part of the question, honestly.
Disqualified.
All right.
Isabel's another question, though. Which pillar should Steve
Paul
wrestle?
Walter Hauser is my answer.
You're really not getting the game. Which pillar should they wrestle? And that one seems obvious to me.
Let's see if we came to the same conclusion, because it was obvious to me too.
Sammy.
Kobashi.
Yes,
Oh!
absolutely. The whole thing is just
Who's
Steve-O
this
getting
Sammy?
chopped in the chest 50 million times.
Sorry, I went with the wrong
That was it.
pillars, I guess. I thought we were talking about the real pillars.
Oh my god, that
so
got me.
who-
I jumped
who
on
would
my
you
seat
have?
a little bit. I was so excited.
Would you have Sammy Guevara or Jack Perry, or who would you have?
MJF.
All right. Yeah, all right. Gotta get that fellow actor.
Can you imagine how unbearable an MJF promo about Steve-O would be? MJF and Steve-O doing like a dueling promo segment.
Oh my god. What are we doing here?
Well, we're answering this question from Nick Yeoman. Who are the best 2 wrestlers for a scenario where they kick off a pay-per-view facing each other in a sumo monster truck match and then finish the pay-per-view in a standard wrestling match? So they have 2 matches on the show. One is a monster truck sumo match. The other, standard wrestling.
Akabono and Viscera.
I'm going to say Matt Riddle and RVD.
All right.
Can either Akibono or Viscera get into a monster truck?
Yeah. 100%.
Okay.
I think they fucking need some help, like Weekend at Bernie's style.
I mean, there's fucking
You got me there, yeah. Oh, I don't know. Probably Steve-O and Kobashi.
Absolutely. I think Kobashi would have more fun than he would realize driving a monster truck around. He just seems like the sort of guy who would be into that.
I think this is Kemonito versus Kemalito.
Okay, that fucking rolls.
Yes.
Oh my god, cute, like little telephone books on the seat of the monster truck.
Yeah. You got it.
Yeah, I'm seeing the vision.
I was
What's the
watching
best-
Righteous Gemstones. And spoilers for Righteous Gemstones. There's a monster truck in season 3. Is that how you get into a monster truck? Are you
I
going
don't remember.
under? They
Oh,
go, they
no,
go under.
I watched it like 2 years ago when everyone else did, so I don't remember exactly how they go into the monster truck.
All right. Do you know how they go to a monster truck normally?
No,
They went in through the window.
Oh, that's not how they do it.
No,
they don't
but I
use the
meant
door at all.
I thought that's how you did it in like real life, but I don't know. I'm not a monster truck aficionado.
I think
You
it
go
might
up
be
the
through the
stairs.
window.
Sam, how do you enter a monster truck?
I don't know. We're quanting it because I've abandoned Google. We're seeing
You're
how that goes for
whatting
me.
it?
Quanting it. You know.
No, I absolutely do not know.
Okay.
Oh, I'm watching this.
Reddit.
I'm watching this guy climb underneath.
There you go.
Right, well, now we know.
It's a YouTube video.
This next question, guys, I don't know. I guess I don't know ball. Domich says, "What's the best wrestling match that include a wrestler dying in kayfabe? What are all my contenders there?"
There's Eamon pointed out Mil Muertes and Lucha Underground. The Undertaker was killed in that casket match where his ghost rose out of it.
Those are the only two I knew of, and so the answer for that is pretty obvious.
There's at least one PCO match where they do the thing where like his heart stops, so they have to like fucking crank him like Jason Statham.
Hmm.
That's it. I don't know. I mean, it probably is like a Mil Muertes match of some kind. It's probably some sort of weird lucha presentation. Chris, you have to let us know in the roundup if IWRG does any matches where someone supposedly dies.
I mean, that's going to be the headliner for the Lucha Roundup whenever that happens.
And it says
There you go.
dying in kayfabe, so I can't say Ric Flair's last match. Because in kayfabe, he was still alive for all of it. Eamon asks, what's everyone's favorite Linkin Park song? And Tim specifies the hard mode excludes any remixes.
I used to spend a lot of time watching Dragon Ball Z and wrestling music videos set to In the End. So that's what I'm coming up with.
I'm
When
gonna
the-
out myself as I don't really know any Linkin Park songs. I know there's the One Step Closer song, and that's about it.
Yeah, I'll go with One Step Closer.
I'm gonna go with Paper Cut.
So
Can you sing some
just
of that
to
for us?
answer this.
No.
All of their music is
said no.
bad after their first album. So don't need to listen to it.
Some would even say during the first album.
But anyway, the album with Jay-Z, pretty good. Pretty good.
I'm gonna say the best Linkin Park song is in fact "Last Resort" by Papa Roach.
Hell yeah! Now we're talking.
Yeah, sick Nick Mondo, rest in peace. A Jackie Slayer asks, who are the two active wrestlers right now that have never done shoot style, but you would like them to do a shoot style match together? Let's say it's the UWFI rule set.
I'm once again going to
the answer.
Camelito versus Caminito.
You cracked the code.
I concur.
Do we know if Gangrel has ever done UWFI?
It feels like he probably did.
Feels like it's got like a Kane situation, you know.
I'm picturing him doing like shoot style in Florida.
You mean seventh strongest wrestler in history, Kane?
Correct. Correct. What? Hey, you never told me where did Gangrel end up on that list? Where Gangrel?
I did not see him in the top
Oof.
100 something.
That's hateful.
But let's say Gangrel versus Adam Copeland, aka Cope.
Both. There you go.
Amen. Was it disrespectful to Dean Bookers to steal the Cibernetico match concept from Chikara? Now I'm gonna say this. I watched I watched 97 Cibernetico, and then I tried to watch the AIW one because I thought maybe I'll write some about some of these matches. And I watched the AIW one, Wex, which was dumb because it killed my spirit. And they talk about its roots in Chikara. And that really
I
popped me.
love that.
Yeah.
You know what? That makes sense for them.
Yeah. So was it disrespectful? No.
I think it was disrespectful for them to not book Cibernetico, the wrestler.
And that's correct.
Oric, host of Late Night with the 2012 Royal Rumble, asks, who has the best headbutts in wrestling?
In the Necro versus BJ match, Necro, every time BJ tries to like get a go behind or like, grab his waist, Necro throws these like backwards headbutts that are fucking awesome.
See, I was just going to say Shibata and leave it at that. But you came with some actual content.
I like Atsushi Kotage's headbutts. Also, he just has a spot where he tells the crowd to be quiet and then headbutts them.
I'm surprised no one's speaking up for the astronauts. Seem to be the current headbutt guys, as far as I'm
Eh.
You love the astronauts, Sam.
Oh, big fan. Big fan. Best wrestlers in
He's
the world.
he's
bar
always
none.
going on about like, God, I wish Neon was an astronaut.
I think I would have to commit some crimes if they were ever put together in any sort of context.
Identity theft, so you could join too.
True. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Kana asks, to follow up on the other Chikara question, what Chikara concepts should other promotions steal? And which promotions should be the ones stealing them? I'm going to say MLW should steal Chikara's idea of shutting down.
Oh, fuck you.
Those are fighting words.
That's why I said them.
Why'd you put Paul Walter Hauser out of business?
This show barely fucking talks about wrestling as is. You're going to take away MLW?
What is Dan going to do?
Oh, Paul Walter Hauser needs to be freed up for some sort of weird, ill-gotten, like celebrity wrestling, thing that he gets ripped off on. He needs the full celebrity wrestler experience.
The only way I will start saying that Deadlock is good is if they adopt King of Trios. It's the only way.
I think
feel like it's bound to happen. Someone's going to do it sooner or later.
I think AEW should steal the Chikara concept of multiple Mike Quackenbush matches on every show.
I thought you were going to say they should steal the idea of using Orange Cassidy.
Oh shit, I forgot that guy exists.
Oh, okay.
AEW steals Chikara's Chuck
Is he
Taylor.
hurt?
I think he is hurt, or he needs
okay.
time off or something. I'm not sure if he's actually injured or if he's just like recuperating from his body being put through a lot of abuse. Then we have a plug for Dan's Necro Butcher, a man of honor. Let me see if we have any other. We do not have any other questions that I can see.
We
No
did it.
other questions. There we
Oh
did.
yeah, they said we couldn't do it.
We finally answered them all. Next week we'll have to come up with a new
Completion.
bit. We have compromised Q&AR to a permanent end.
And Chris will not be here next week. So if you want to be on this podcast, let us know. Maybe we'll
The
accept
thing
it.
is, if you come on this podcast, you have to be Chris.
Yes.
In a
We're
physical
not
fight.
looking for a guest. We're not looking for a
B,
guest
as I
host.
said,
We're looking for a
beat.
guest Chris.
And I will be gone 2 weeks, or I guess a week and a half now. So get on that, folks.
And then
Same thing
3
applies.
weeks from
We
now.
don't.
Well,
What's
3
happening,
weeks from
Chris?
now, if Pat
Fucking
keeps
me.
talking shit about MLW, we'll have another opening.
Here you go.
Well,
I'm not saying it's gonna be
God,
Pat.
how-
It could be me. Maybe I quit.
you're just you get so upset that I'm being mean to MLW. You like in solidarity.
we-
with
I
Court
want you to
Bauer
know
on
that's not
my
me. That is not
podcast.
that's not how I feel.
Yeah, can we please say kind words to Court Bauer?
He needs it.
Court
He
Bauer,
deserves
I'm
it.
glad that you and Reels have found success together. Is that does MLW still even show on Reels?
I think it's on BN. Is that a thing? Can confirm 100% when they ignored my request for free tickets, they signed me up for the newsletter because I get MLW stuff every single day. So let me pull it up. I got one
Hey, you get
today,
MLW stuff, you don't get tickets though.
10 hours ago. And yeah, youtube.com. I guess maybe there's no BN. Oh, BN
So,
Sports TV.
actually-
there is, yeah.
We're sneaking a mini big top in at the end of this episode. Dan, what are your thoughts on MLW supposedly having to cut a bunch of the roster to make room for like Shotzi Blackheart?
Who did they cut? Janai Kai?
Janai Kai, the word was that more people will find themselves either not having their MLW deals renewed or just not being used by MLW to free up the budget to
I got news for
start
everyone.
hiring WWE
Shotzi Blackheart, Shotzi and Janai Kai, like that's a lateral move. That's and one of them was on TV, like real TV recently. So good for them. I don't know.
Oh, they got
What
some
real
big
TV
matches
was
coming
Janai
up.
on?
Oh, big matches. So you saw that Paul London's rematching Neon.
Yeah, the lightning match. So 10
Yeah,
minutes.
yeah.
Matt Riddle versus Kenta. Yeah,
Everyone's favorite 2025 wrestlers.
it's perfect. This is professional
I mean,
wrestling.
I'm just glad that Riddle and Kenta are facing off at their respective peaks.
You got to get it. You got to get it while you can.
Yeah, it's like you. This
Before
is
they
the
blow
kind of
up.
thing you have to capture it right when like their bodies are in prime condition, their wrestling minds are at their sharpest, when they definitely care a lot and don't phone in their matches. But yeah, MLW, probably gonna be the big top for the next 6 to 8 episodes.
Well, I'll tell you what. In 2 episodes, oh Sam, you're gonna miss it. War Chamber will have aired, so we'll cover that.
No, my favorite thing is to listen to podcasts where you talk about MLW and then come on to the following episode and tell you why your takes were a dog shit. So that works.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go ahead and get some of my
this is-
takes in. Shoko Nakajima versus Delmi Exo, 5 stars. Blue Panther Jr. and Dark Panther versus Cozy Max. Probably feud of the year. And the War Chamber match is gonna be the best I can't even think War Games match ever. So we're all pretty excited about it.
It's a
It's
war
saying here
chamber.
Austin Aries is gonna be on the call too with now enemy of the show Joe Dombrowski.
That lying sack of shit
You can't fucking pull the wool over my eyes.
doesn't know ball.
People are gonna think like, like with no context for this, someone's gonna listen to this and be like, "Oh my God, what did Joe do?" And the answer is he signed Dan up for the MLW newsletter.
Is that an episode?
Yeah.
I think that's an